No, that did not work the way it's supposed to. Jeff,
how you doing?
How's it going?
Pretty good. How are you?
I'm doing all right. And you're heading to Omaha?
737 Omaha.
Omaha.
It is steamy today.
It
man.
is.
Good
It's a good day to ride with AC. It's a very good day to ride with AC.
You busy today?
You're actually my first trip today.
Oh, okay.
I'm also experimenting with other dash cam apps. This one's like it's shown as crooked, but it's not when it does it. So I don't know. I'm trying out the multi-view thing in my phone right now too. So that's kind of weird looking to me.
Playing with all kinds of technology.
I am. I'm playing with all kinds of technology today. And I'm like, oh, I was like, is this going to be detrimental to this? Is this going to drain my battery more than the Uber driver app already does?
Is it bad?
Oh yeah.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, if you don't have it plugged into a charger, your battery will be dead easy within about 3 hours.
Oh man.
And that doesn't even matter if you got like the world's greatest battery. Like you could drain it the night before and it'll still end up dying pretty quickly. Like I remember one night, one of my chargers, like, and this was last year, but my charger went out and stopped working, and I was like, oh, I'll be all right, you know.
Or not.
Nope. I went out it was like 8 o'clock at night. I want to say it was like by midnight, my phone was down to like 2%. I was like, uh-oh.
That's a problem.
Yeah, and this charger that I got now, I got it from AutoZone. And I was like, yeah. And I had a really good one before, but my sister broke it.
Sisters.
Just like, I had a pickup earlier in the week. They're like, you got an iPhone charger? I was like, I used to. Until a passenger took it out of my car.
Oh, come on. Really?
Yeah, sometimes they grab stuff and they might think it's theirs, don't realize it.
Right.
I wish they'd remember to grab their phones.
Always.
There's been a lot of iPhones that have been left in like vehicles, and I'm like,
Really?
and I'm like, you know what? I'm really glad that I have my cheaply made Android devices. They work wonders. Like the Find My Phone app, that thing is very annoying at 2 a.m. when it's going off in between your seat and your.
Oh, no, I gotcha. Yeah, that would be annoying as hell.
I was probably 10 miles from this dude after I had dropped him off, and I'm just like, I live in Holland, so I was on my way back to Holland, and all of a sudden I'm looking down and I see like the side of my thing lighting up, and I'm like, what's going on? And I was like,
jeez.
And I was like, man, I don't even remember this dude's address, and so I'm like looking through my trip history, and I knock on it, like he's asking for like facial recognition, and I was like, well, I don't look like he does, so
That's going to be a problem.
So I finally get it to him. He's like, oh my God, I'm so glad you returned it. He's like, he said he left it in another Uber before, and the driver never returned it. And I was like, I didn't want your phone.
Yeah, what am I going to do with it?
Right, it's like I've got plenty of other devices that I can use, so.
Jeez.
But yeah, I've had some interesting items left in the vehicle after trips, and I'm just kind of like, really?
Huh. How long have you been doing this?
I started back in September last year.
Like it?
I love it.
Do you?
It's fun, and this is technically considered the slow time. Like, up until midway through June, it'll be considered the slow time.
Okay.
Because, I mean, you know, Uber obviously is meant for college students. That's its main target, that and, you know, bar nights, bar driving
People
nights.
who drink a lot.
Oh, yeah. Which I'm fine and I'm completely fine with that. I'd rather people be like, you know what, I'm just going to take an Uber.
Right.
You know, and I wish this kind of technology would have been around, you know, years and years ago.
Right.
But then again, you know, maybe I guess it's better that it wasn't. But yeah, like, some of them get pretty intoxicated. They get pretty creative and festive. And I was like, oh. Like when I drove New Year's Eve night,
oh boy,
I had a young lady. It was her and her 3 friends. They were going out to Ada. I picked them up from the woods downtown, and they the one tried offering her undergarments as a tip. And I told her, I was like, see, I got everybody. Like my girlfriend's messaging me. I've got I can't do 3 different views. I can only do 2. But yeah, so she tried giving me her underwear as a tip, and I was like, oh, sweetie, I don't want your underwear at all. And she goes, well, why not? And I was like, well, because I was like, I don't want your underwear. So for the next 10 minutes of this ride, all 4 of them were yelling at me why I didn't want,
oh my Lord,
you know, her underwear. And I was like, well, contrary to popular belief, I was like, not everybody is chasing after panties. I was like, it's just not happening. They were like, are you gay? And I was like, no.
Oh my Lord.
I was like,
I want your skanky underwear.
Right, like I was like, I know why you were joking about getting free drinks all night. I was like, I can only imagine what you did to get those free drinks now. I was like, everybody at the bar probably saw the muff.
Oh my God.
You know, and it was just one of those things, like I was like, all right. I was like, it's okay, this ride will be over soon. And it's always those rides, they feel like they take forever.
Right.
Or if you get like the really quiet passenger. Like, if they get put in earbuds, I'm like, whatever.
Sure.
But, like, normally when I pull up, you can't really hear music playing from my stereo.
Okay.
And so it's usually pretty quiet. And I'm like, oh, hey, you know, what's up? And I'll try to spark conversation, and sometimes they don't want to have conversation.
They just don't want to talk. It's funny. I listened to a podcast of a guy who lives in New York. And he's like, I want a mute Uber driver. I want to get in the car, and I don't want to have to find out how his day is. And I guess in New York, that's okay. It would just seem so strange sitting in some dude's car.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
not having some kind of a conversation.
Like, I mean, I get it. Like, there are certain, like, I've had bad trips where my next pickup, I did not want to socialize at all. But then I'm like, you know what? I was like, it's not their fault that, you know, my previous
passenger.
Trip, right, it's not their fault that he was just a raging, steaming pile of shit. You know, and, like, I remember I probably should have logged off after, because he was my first passenger I ever ejected out of my car. And he took it to like a racial thing, and I was like, all right, man. I was like, we're not doing this. And we were right on Fulton, and I was like, out of my car. And I just took another pickup, and I probably should have just logged off for a couple of minutes.
That's right.
And, you know, just kind of cooled off, but I was fuming that whole next ride. They're like, is something wrong? And I was like, I don't appreciate being called a beaner. I was like, what's up with that? I was like, damn. I was like, I'm the whitest Mexican anybody's ever gonna meet.
Excuse me.
I know it's
God.
funny. I know,
It's
believe me, I know.
hilarious.
Like, I grew up in North Muskegon. My parents put me in an all-white school. I didn't learn Spanish because I didn't need to learn Spanish.
Right, you live in Muskegon, for God's sakes.
Right, and then when I moved to Holland, I was like, maybe I should have learned Spanish when I was younger. And so now here I am, almost 30 years old, don't know any Spanish, and I'm like, all right, my 10-year-old son knows more Spanish than I do.
man.
My girlfriend's kids know more Spanish than I do. My girlfriend knows more Spanish than I do.